Game over. Hey riders, how are you? I hope you're in good health. Hello friends, welcome back to Ride Radar. Today we are not just reviewing a motorcycle. We are conducting an autopsy on a legend. We are looking at a machine that has conquered the planet without firing a single shot, without using a drop of advanced AI, and without ever trying to be the fastest thing on the road. Today we are talking about the 2026 Honda Super Cub C70, and I warn you, by the end of this video, the things you hear might actually shock you. In a world where motorcycles are getting heavier, more complex, and loaded with touchscreens that cost more than the bike itself, the Honda Super Cub stands like a lonely stone monument in a river of change. It remains exactly what it was 60 years ago. It is simple, it is slow, and it is absolutely perfect. Let's start with the first shocking fact. Do you know what the best-selling motor vehicle in the history of the human race is? Is it the Ford F-150? No. Is it the Toyota Corolla? No. Is it the Honda Civic? No, it is the Honda Super Cub. Since 1958, Honda has sold over 100 million units of the Super Cub family. Let that number sink in. 100 million. That is more than the population of most countries. If you lined up every Super Cub ever made bumper to bumper, the line would stretch to the moon and back. And the 2026 C70 is the direct descendant of that very first machine. So why is the 2026 C70 so special? Why are people in 2026 still buying a bike that looks like it belongs in a museum? The answer lies in the design philosophy. Soichiro Honda, the founder, had a simple vision, a bike that anyone can ride, anywhere, anytime. He wanted a machine that a housewife in Tokyo could ride to the grocery store in a kimono without getting her clothes dirty. And that is exactly what the C70 is. Look at the design. It hasn't changed. Why? Because nature does not improve a teardrop, and Honda does not need to improve the Cub. The 2026 model retains that iconic, friendly silhouette. It looks like a character from a Pixar movie. It has that round headlight that stares at you with a sort of innocent curiosity. The bodywork is simple, the lines are clean, and the chrome fenders catch the sunlight in a way that modern plastic bikes just can't replicate. But here is the second thing that might shock you. The 2026 Honda C70 is arguably the most reliable machine ever built by human hands. We are talking about a level of reliability that defies logic. There are true stories of Honda Cubs in Southeast Asia and Africa that have run for 30 or 40 years with nothing more than oil changes and chain lube. They are used as taxis, delivery bikes, and family haulers, carrying loads 3 times their own weight, often on roads that don't even deserve to be called roads. And they keep running. Underneath that classic fuel tank lies the heart of the beast, a 72cc, air-cooled, single-cylinder engine. Now, I know what you are thinking. 72cc? That's the size of a lawnmower, and you aren't wrong. But this engine is a masterpiece of efficiency. It produces roughly 6.5 horsepower. To put that in perspective, a modern electric scooter has more power. A riding lawnmower has more torque. But the Honda C70 is not about horsepower. It is about horsepower per kilogram. Because the bike weighs only about 105 kilograms wet, that 6.5 horsepower feels surprisingly peppy in the city. The engine is virtually indestructible. It uses a simple pushrod overhead valve design. There are no complex cylinder heads, no radiators, no water pumps, no fancy electronics. It is air-cooled. Simplicity. You can hit this engine with a hammer, and it will probably still start. And then we have the transmission, which is where the magic really happens. The C70 uses a semi-automatic centrifugal clutch system. What does that mean? It means there is no clutch lever on your handlebar. You don't have to feather the clutch at a traffic light. You just shift down with your foot, come to a stop, and the bike stays running without stalling. When you want to go, you just twist the throttle. It is the easiest motorcycle to ride in the world. It removes the fear factor for new riders. But here is the shocking part about the performance, the fuel economy. If I told you that this bike can give you 200 kilometers per liter, you would call me a liar. But I am not lying. In real-world city conditions, if you are gentle with the throttle, the 2026 C70 can achieve fuel figures that are scientifically impossible for any other gasoline vehicle. With a 4-liter tank, you are looking at a theoretical range of nearly 700 to 800 kilometers. You could buy this bike, ride it for a month, and still not need to visit the petrol pump. In an era of expensive gas, the C70 is not just a bike. It is a financial weapon. Let's talk about the riding experience, because this is where the soul of the bike lives. When you hop onto the C70, you aren't straddling a machine. You are sitting on a piece of furniture. The seat is wide, flat, and surprisingly comfortable for long distances. The riding position is upright. You aren't hunched over the tank like a racer, and you aren't leaning back like a cruiser. You are sitting straight, with your feet planted on pegs in the middle of the floorboard. This riding position gives you a sense of safety. You have a low center of gravity, so the bike feels planted. The suspension is basic telescopic forks, up front and dual shocks in the rear, but it is tuned with a secret Japanese magic that absorbs potholes that would shatter your spine on a sports bike. It floats over bad asphalt, and because the bike is so light, it handles like a bicycle. You can throw it into corners, weave through traffic, and park it in spaces that don't even exist for cars. It makes you feel like a ninja in the city, but the practicality is what seals the deal. The 2026 model comes with front and rear racks. These aren't just for show. They are heavy-duty steel carriers designed to haul loads. And then there is the underseat storage. Lift up that plush seat, and you have a waterproof compartment. It's perfect for your helmet, your gloves, or your groceries. It keeps your stuff dry when it rains, which is a luxury you don't appreciate until you have it. Now, I want to talk about the shocking reality of owning a Honda C70 in 2026. We live in a throwaway culture. We buy a phone and it's obsolete in 2 years. We buy a modern motorcycle and the computer system is buggy, the plastic fairings crack, and the complex electronics fail. But the C70? The C70 is the antithesis of modern consumerism. If you buy a 2026 C70 today, and you take care of it, that bike will still be running in the year 2050. It will never go out of style, because it has no style to go out of. It is pure function. It is the Timex watch of the motorcycle world. It takes a licking and keeps on ticking. There is a massive community around these bikes. From the DAX riders to the monkey riders, the Honda small displacement cult is real, but the C70 is the king. People customize them. They put on bigger baskets, different seats, handlebar risers, and windshields. But the beauty is that you don't have to customize it. It is perfect right out of the crate. Let's address the elephant in the room. Is it fast? No. Can you take it on the highway? Absolutely not. If you try to take a Honda C70 on a highway, you are going to vibrate so hard your teeth will rattle and you will be holding up traffic. This bike has a top speed of around 75 to 80 kilometers per hour, and it screams to get there. But that is the point. The C70 forces you to slow down. It forces you to enjoy the journey rather than obsessing over the destination. It connects you to the road in a way that a 200 horsepower superbike never can. On a superbike, you are isolated from the world by speed and wind. On a Cub, you are part of the world. You can smell the bakeries, you can hear the birds, and you can feel the breeze. And here is a shocking statistic regarding safety. Because the C70 is so slow, and because it forces you to ride predictably and smoothly, it is arguably one of the safest bikes for a beginner. You cannot get into trouble with 6 horsepower. You cannot wheelie into a lamppost. Well, you can, but it's hard. The bike keeps you humble. The 2026 updates have ensured that this legend continues. Honda has managed to keep the classic look while updating the emissions and reliability standards. The build quality is impeccable. The panels fit together with zero gaps. The chrome shines. The paint is thick. It feels like a premium product, even though it is an entry-level commuter. Think about the history again. This design is older than the Beatles. It is older than the moon landing. It has seen the rise and fall of empires. It has been used by pizza delivery boys, by doctors in Africa, by students in Japan, and by hipsters in Brooklyn. It is the universal language of transport. So, who is the 2026 Honda C70 for? It is not for the adrenaline junkie. It is not for the person who wants to brag about their lap times. It is for the person who wants a machine that works every single morning. It is for the person who hates traffic. It is for the person who appreciates good design. It is for the minimalist. In a world that is getting louder, faster, and more complicated, the Honda C70 is a whisper of sanity. It reminds us that you don't need 1000cc to have fun. You don't need a touchscreen to find your way. You just need a reliable machine and an open road. Asterisk, asterisk. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the soul of the Super Cub here on Ride Radar. If this script made you fall in love with the C70, or if you already own one, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Ride Radar for more honest, no-nonsense motorcycle content. Thanks for watching, keep it simple, and ride safe.